I think there's a lot of very good information we've got to cover. Starts with a 96-year-old woman who did everything right. She saved, she planned, she signed a lifetime contract, paid $250,000 up front, and paid her rent every single month for 22 years. And then she got a letter. 3 days to pay $110,000 or get out. If that can happen to her, the question isn't, could this happen to me? It's, do I even know if it's already happening to me? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly where you stand, and it might not be where you think. Welcome back to Retirement Reality Check. I'm Mike Adams, and today we're covering 3 things that are quietly eroding right now: eviction, Social Security, and inflation, and exactly what you need to do about all 3. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you in the next 20 minutes could change how you look at your retirement plan. Let's go back to that 96-year-old woman. Her name's Jean Jacques. In 2002, she signed what she believed was a lifetime contract with a senior living facility in Pacific Grove, California. She paid $250,000 down as the down payment, then $5,000 a month every month for over decades until her money ran dry. And here's what she told a reporter when the new owners, a company called Pacifica Senior Living, handed her the eviction notice. I was shocked. The reason I moved into Forest Hill Manor was to be taken care of for the rest of my life. 96 years old. And here's the part that should really concern you. This is not rare. According to elder care attorney Julianne Kosser, every single year, thousands of assisted living residents face eviction the moment their health gets worse, or sometimes for no clear reason at all. Why? Because most of people assume assisted living facilities are protected the same way nursing homes are. They're not. Nursing homes fall under federal protection. Assisted living facilities do not. Oversight is left entirely to the states, and states vary wildly in how much protection they actually offer. It's worse. Facilities that are approved to accept Medicaid can still refuse to admit or choose to discharge Medicaid-eligible residents, and they can do that legally. And if you don't believe me, open a search engine. Open it right now and type in eviction letter templates for assisted living residents. You'll find pages of them, free, ready to use, written for the facility's benefit, not for you, the resident. So here's the real question this story raises, and I'll promise we'll come back to it. If a lifetime contract, 2 decades of payments, and $750,000 down weren't enough to guarantee your safety, what exactly is your plan relying on? We're going to answer that. Keep watching. Now, before we go further, I want to pause and make you an offer, because I don't want you walking away from this video just feeling anxious. I want you walking away with an actual plan. And if anything in that story made you wonder, wait, is my situation actually protected the way I think it is? That question deserves a real answer, not a guess. You can book a free retirement risk, a risk review, and it's complimentary. 30-minute conversation, just you and me. We look at your specific contracts, your specific accounts, your specific numbers, not averages, not hypotheticals. It's no pressure, no obligation, just clarity on exactly where you stand today. And you'll come away with real information. Whether we ever do business or not is not the point. It's just a conversation to clarify where you stand. Got it? Good. The link is right there when you're ready. Now let's keep going, because the eviction story is just the first crack at the foundation. The next one affects every single person watching this, with no exceptions. The Social Security Trust Fund is on pace to run dry in 6 to 8 years. And maybe even a shorter time. They're even beginning to say possibly by 2030. That's 4 years away. And if Congress does nothing, your check shrinks by 21 to 23% if you're drawing Social Security. Automatically. No vote required. Let that sink in. That's not a worst case scenario from some fringe prediction. That's the projection from people who manage the fund. Now, here's the good news, and I do mean this sincerely. It's very likely Congress acts before that happens. There are actually 4 senators that are considering making a move. Nobody wants the politician to be the politician who lets Social Security checks collapse. But likely they'll act is not the same as it won't affect you. Because here's the thing, every single option on the table involves somebody giving something up. Option 1 is to raise the retirement age. That means working longer before you collect if you're not retired yet. Option 2 is adjust the benefit per formulas. That means smaller checks, especially for higher earners. And option 3 is to raise taxes, which means less in your pocket today for fun tomorrow, whether you're retired or not retired. That's a possibility. Or it could be a combination of all 3. And Social Security is not the only story. Medicare and Medicaid are on the same collision course. Trust fund depletion expected in just 7 to 9 years. Congress has the same 3 levers to pull. Raise taxes, cut benefits, or restructure who's eligible. Now picture this. 6 months from now, you turn on the news and see a headline announcing exactly which of these changes is happening. Are you the person who has already adjusted, or the person who's scrambling to catch up? That decision is being made right now, today, by whether you keep watching or close that video. So here's a question I want you to actually sit with, not just nod along to. How would a 21% cut to your Social Security check change your monthly budget? Not in theory, but in actual dollars. Most people have never run that number. We're going to fix that. But first, there's a third piece to this puzzle, and it's the one most people feel happening, but can't quite name. Right now, more than half of American families are cutting back on groceries, entertainment, or medical care just to keep up with inflation. That's not the warning sign. That is the recession, happening quietly while prices keep climbing. There's a name for inflation and recession hitting at the same time: stagflation. And it behaves completely differently than a market crash. A crash was loud. It's on every news channel. People panic. People act fast. Stagflation is the opposite. It's quiet. It's slow. It doesn't announce itself. It just shows up as 1,000 paper cuts. A little more here, a little less there, until one day you look up and wonder where 20 years went. We've already lived through this before. And the story of how it started might surprise you. Most people blame the 1970s inflation crisis on the 1973 oil embargo. But the truth is, it started building a full decade before that. In the early 1960s, inflation was sitting around 1%, just like it was a few years ago. By 1967, it had already climbed past 3%, and by 1970, a couple of years before the oil crisis hit, it had touched 6%. And then the embargo hit. Inflation didn't rise, it exploded into double digits by 1974, and it stayed there for nearly a decade. Here's the number that should stop you cold. The purchasing power of the dollar fell 70% between 1960 and 1980. 70%. What a dollar bought in 1960 took $3 to buy by 1980. Let me make it concrete. Postage stamp went from 4 cents to 15 cents. A bottle of Coke went from a dime to 35 cents. A gallon of milk, 49 cents to $2.18. And it took the S&P 500, even with every dividend invested, more than 30 years to fully recover the purchasing power. So here's the question I need you to ask for your own portfolio. If you're earning 5 or 6%, that's the average for most financial advisors, and inflation creeps to 5 or 6%, are you actually growing, or are you just running on fumes? Are you running in place? Are you actually just treading water? Most people never run that comparison. The advisor shows them a return number. Monte Carlo simulation shows they have a high percentage of not running out of money. But all of that's based on a low inflation rate. What if the inflation rate hits 5 or 6 or 9% or 12 or 14? The advisor shows them a return number that looks bigger or better, but the only number that really matters is your return minus inflation. That's the real growth or the real loss. Go ask your advisor for that number. Better yet, let's go through it. I'll show you exactly how in a couple of minutes. So let's bring all three together. The eviction risk, the Social Security countdown, and stagflation quietly eating your purchasing power. When you begin to stack them all up, you realize they all point to the same conclusion. They all have only 3 options. You have only 3 options, only 3. You can ignore it. Hope Congress fixes everything before it touches you, including Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and affordability. Or 2, assume your retirement plan keeps working the way it has. The same growth, the same benefits, the same purchasing power forever. Or 3, you can prepare now. Prepare your income no matter what happens with public policy, no matter what happens with markets, no matter what happens with the economy. You probably heard the old story about the frog in boiling water. Drop a frog into water that's already boiling, it jumps out instantly. But put that same frog into cool water and slowly turn up the heat, and the frog never moves. It doesn't even notice until it's too late. Doesn't matter if the story is scientifically true. It's about us. Stagflation never jumps from 1% to 20% overnight. It creeps. The eviction notices are already happening quietly in facilities across the country. The Social Security clock is already ticking 4 to 6 to 8 years from now. The water is already warming. The only question is whether you get out or wait until it's boiling. And that brings us to the most important point of this video. If you've made it this far, first, thank you for trusting me with 20 minutes of your time. That's not nothing, and I don't take it for granted. More importantly, if you made it this far, it's because some part of this resonated with you. Maybe it was the eviction story. Maybe it was the Social Security math. Maybe it was that number, 70%, and what it would mean for everything you've worked for your entire life to build. Whatever it was, that feeling you have right now is information. It's telling you something, and the worst you can do with that feeling is close this video and go back to doing business as usual. Your retirement needs a second opinion today. Everything we've covered today, the eviction notice, the Social Security shortfall, the stagflation that's already beginning to eat your savings, these aren't someday problems. They're already in motion. I'm offering you a free, no obligation 30-minute retirement risk review. We'll look at your actual situation, your contracts, your accounts, your real numbers, and I'll show you exactly where you stand and what to do next. Whether we do business or not, you'll have insight after that appointment that you never had before. Just click on the link below right now. Grab a time. Not later today, not this weekend, but right now while it's in front of you. Most people who watch this video, they'll feel that spark of urgency and then life happens. The moment passes. 6 months from now, nothing has changed except the clock is kept ticking. Don't let that be you. Click the link. Book the call. Let's find out exactly where you stand together before the water gets any hotter. I'm Mike Adams, and this has been Retirement Reality Check. I'll see you the next one, or better yet, I'll see you on the call. Let me ask, are there questions? You can go ahead and click the link and then ask the questions. Other than that,